Hello and welcome to day 54, session 2 of the 365-day meditation challenge, where I challenge myself to meditate for 1 hour a day for an entire year in 2 sessions of 31 minutes. And I want to talk about a bit about the fact that people rise to the level of their training and not to the level of their expectations. It is quite important to understand that you do not, even if you have super high expectations of yourself, it is what training defines exactly the results that you are going to output. It is super important to understand that training is what makes you better, and not only what makes you better, but you will not really be able to rise above your training. It is super difficult. It takes so much effort, so much more effort to rise over the amount of training that you have, because you are asking almost the impossible out of yourself. So if you have not hit the target that you want to hit, it would be super difficult to ask you to do that, because it will take you many tries in order to hit a new level of expertise, skill. It's all about preparedness, let's say. So train harder so you can do more. Let's start the meditation right now. And there you go. The meditation is over. I held my breath for a new record. I'm very close to breaking 3 minutes. I have 2 minutes and 40 seconds. This was just amazing. I think I was at my best about 2 minutes 30 something, 32 or 34. I think it was 32. But now it's closer to 3 minutes than I think about it. Who knew that when I was a bit tipsy, I'm gonna be able to hold my breath for the longest amount I ever did. It's quite a record. I think I'm in the 90 percentile. I don't think more than 10% of people can hold their breath actively for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Of course, if you put them under a certain kind of pressure, like you're just gonna stop existing, well, then they're gonna be able to hold their breath for more than 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But actively, it's a different type of thing. Plus, it's super intense. Like the last 5 seconds were like super, super, super intense. So, yeah, I was actually thinking about the fact that people think that I have a great, great relationship with my dog because I do certain things, but I have a great relationship with my dog because I get bored of training her. So I need to, because she doesn't get bored. She gets super hype about it, but I get bored about it because it's like you have to do 800 to 1,000 repetitions of the same thing over and over in this specific manner. And I'm like, Jesus. So it's very grueling, and I have to invent, like, people think that they see me like in the public transport training her, and I talk to her as if she's a human, and I make very like crazy jokes like it's like if I drop a piece of food on the floor and I go like, oops, seems like you got lucky. You picked the right numbers for the lottery or whatever it's called. So, yeah, I just start joking with her just because I need to entertain myself. And because I'm in a good mood, she gets even more excited. Like, it's super necessary to be in a very good, nice mood when you are training a dog and when you're interacting with your dog, because they respond so much more to just tonality, and they just think it's a game. And when the dog thinks it's a game, they just do it over and over and over and over again. And but you still have to make it a game for yourself, because you yourself are not a robot. So, yeah, it seems very, like, for people, it seems super, super impressive what I do with my dog. And it is, because she's 1 year and 2 months old. But it's just because, like, it's necessary. Like, she's a very active dog and she gets super excited. So I have to train her to get all that energy out, because training doesn't only take physical activity, but it takes brain power as well. It drains her batteries way faster. And I don't want her running around the house. So that's why she's sleeping quite a bit and sitting around. And usually, if she gets bored, she starts doing bad things. So I need to like get her energy out, do about 45 minutes of training or about an hour. And I do active training and passive training. So, yeah, it is quite a bit of endeavor that I have to make very entertaining for myself. And when I'm in public, I'm having fun with the people around me. Like if I see them smile, if I see them laugh at a joke or try not to laugh at a joke that I'm making with the dog, if I see them doing that, I get a bit like excited and happy. So I entertain myself by making others feel good by the fact that I'm training my dog. So it's not like, oh, sit, do this, do this. It's like, yeah, 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 yeah. Very fun and entertaining. And people really appreciate it. They see that. But then if she does something like she gets super, super excited and she does something wrong, and I go like, no, they go like, like the dog, they start looking at me like, what did I do? And then after she does something like she stopped what's wrong. And then I tell her, yeah, I go back to that thing. And they go like, dogs do this a lot when they're confused. They go like, what? So, yeah, because you cannot be angry at a dog. It's so unproductive to be angry at the dog. The dog does not understand why you are angry. They cannot remember. So it's pointless and it ruins your relationship with your dog. You can be corrective, be like, hey, you better stop. Stop it. So be corrective and very assertive, but you cannot be angry. You can be angry for 2 seconds. You are allowed when she's doing or he's doing that thing. You can be as angry as you want. Try not to hit the dog as much as you can. You can do light, like, hey, to like be a bit annoying to them, but not hurt them in the it's not to be hurt, it's to be a bit annoying to the dog. Be like, this is what you are making me feel. I'm gonna make you feel a bit of the same because you did something wrong. But it's yeah, that should be about 2% of your training. So 98%, of course, if she, like, people don't really understand that certain problems are so bad that you don't have any other choice. Like, if your dog continuously eats off the floor, off the, like, the pavement, one day she's gonna eat some chocolate and she's probably gonna die. Or just cause you to have gray hairs. So if you really love your dog, you train them to not eat off the floor. And unfortunately, the only way that you can do that is by making, because eating something for a dog is one of the most rewarding things they can do. So you have to raise up the consequence of eating off the floor and off the ground to a level where they would be uninterested in the food. Unfortunately, it's the only way. Like, you cannot do positive reinforcement in that direction because how can you stop a dog that wants to eat something off the floor by giving them more food? It's it's you can't. Even if you distract, it's just a distraction. They have to make the right choice. And depending on how attractive and how attracted to they are to that temptation, is you have to put a little bit of resistance. Usually it's easy because you have them on a leash, but I'm training Sophie to be off leash. So yeah, it's very difficult. And you have to be a bit more assertive than usual. And you have to like take them and be like, hey, no eating off the floor. Like, yeah. So you really have to be a bit more like, this is nothing. What dogs do to each other to correct themselves, and dogs are the best dog trainers in the world. Like they train each other so fast, like like that. And like it takes just about, of course, they there needs to be like a clear gap between them. Like if they are like super hype and super aggressive, they're not going to teach each other anything. So that's just about ego. But when it's about boundaries and it's about like a dog telling another dog, please don't touch me anymore, it's gonna be, they're gonna start slowly and move up the chain until they reach. That's exactly how I learned how to train dogs. They slowly move towards the chain from small, larger, larger, larger. So until the other dog does the behavior that you want. And once they do, you understand. And then you go back down the ladder and you start again until you reach another low. And at some point you're not going to have to do anything. But it's important to set boundaries because a dog, if you do not have boundaries, will do anything with you. They will just do anything. It's an animal, for Pete's sake. So you are basically living with an animal. It is not as if you can expect them to be anything but an animal. They are domesticated. But if you want them to be educated, you are the one who needs to guide them towards a great education. So, yeah. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.